Now, after the party, at your respective dorms, you finally made your way to your assigned room, and to your dismay, it looked more like a glorified jail cell. Bland, cold walls, a stiff cot, not the not a poster or charm in sight. The only thing on the bed, besides the sheets, was a small note and a crimson talisman. So how does your character feel seeing such a plain, lifeless room? Go ahead and share.
I knew it was too good to be true. It just we're in prison. They put us in prison. There's no like furniture for real. It's just a bed. And it's not even like a hotel bed. It's like a metal frame with a naked mattress. And I think there's some type of drawer, but it kind of just looks industrial. Sarah was right. This place is fake.
For Cain, it's definitely like he's been loving the place, loving the vibes. He walks into this little room slash cubicle, 'cause that's how small it looks, and it's just wow. I kind of miss home now.
This guy
I
can
don't-
never just be grateful.
I don't want to be here. There's not even a pillow on the bed. Where am I supposed to sleep? And he's just kind of like staring. He's like, I'm gonna have to make renovations if possible.
So, Misty walks in here and she's like, wait a minute. There's no way I'm fitting on this bed. No way. And then also she remembered how Sarah was like, yo, they're putting us in jail. Are we in jail? Are we really? Yeah, that's Misty's thought process.
We're in jail.
Tim walks in, and at first he looks at it and realizes how empty it is. But just from the way he grew up, being on like the kind of like isolated farmland, it in a very small, twisted way almost feels like home. And in a sense, he looks at it as almost like an empty canvas, and he's kind of ready to. If he's going to be here for a long time, he's excited that at least he can make this place look as home as possible, since it's not a preset like a room that he can't really change up.
The talisman was made from a jagged shard of garnet, etched with a glowing sigil too foreign to decipher. It hung on a short chain like a pendant, pulsing faintly on your bed. The note beside it simply said, in elegant, swirling ink, "Break me." What does your character do?
Is that a threat? Am I being threatened? Well, I'm already in jail, so he just smashes it on the ground.
He sees the talisman, is like, reads the note, and it's just this. I mean, I did see someone drink 25 bottles of mocktails, so this is not the weirdest thing that's been told of me or I've seen so far. And he kind of just puts it on the ground and like stomps on it with his foot.
Misty picks up the talisman and she reads the note and she's just like, what is going on? And she like kind of holds the talisman, squeezing it, shaking it.
Tim sees it and he kind of looks at it, and it's a pretty interesting artifact that he's looking at here. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but And then he reads the note. And to clarify, I want to make sure I heard this right. It says kick me.
It says break me.
Okay, I wanted to close enough. So he grabs it and tries to dismantle it in the most careful way possible, as to keep the rest of it, most of it intact. And so he kind of leans it up against the bed frame and slowly lets it crack while not letting it completely shatter.
Ooh. Let me get a dexterity roll
God damn
from
it.
you. Yeah.
I need a refresher on this one. I think.
And just to be clear, Misty, you did not break your talisman, right?
No, she did not break it.
Okay.
Okay, alright, I know where it is now. Just to clarify, the exclamation point, I need to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did that, right?
Damn. Damn.
You,
I definitely broke
yeah, you try your best to be as intentional as possible to preserve it. It shatters into a million pieces.
Oh my god.
This guy, he broke it the most out of all of us.
All right, so just to clarify, all but Misty broke it, right?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
So, the moment the talisman was broken, a warm wind surged through all rooms but Misty's. A voice, soft, mentoring, whispered, "Garnet is the stone of transformation. It cannot change you, but it can hold space if you allow it." In a blink, your dull room transformed. The walls shifted, the textures changed. What had been lifeless now bloomed with your soul, an intimate space reflecting everything you love, fear, crave, and need. Bentley, please describe your perfect room for us.
The perfect room for Bentley has a lot of warm tones, gray/graphite colored flooring, kind of like a semi-finished concrete. There's a soft, dark colored comforter sprawled over a king-size bed, and there is a leather headboard that's hemming it all together, and a soft leather frame that is holding the mattress. There is a little bit of like a lazy boy lounger further into the room with a coffee table that is filled with books that are strictly there for aesthetic. They're photography books. They are not there for reading. And for the most part, it's almost like a industrial farmhouse with some of the textures and colors.
And Cain, what does your new space look like?
Cain's room transforms into like a big, themed of black and gray, almost like a silverish gray, with a huge bed in the middle, some windows, a window to the side with a large like countertop, with a nightstand on either side, a huge black rug that covers pretty much the entire floor, and some fluffy and furry pillows to match the rug on the bed. It definitely gives the vibe of this is a room that the lights are on all night, but they are off all day. It kind of has that street light feel to the room.
Hey, Misty, could you tell us how you get comfortable in your dorm bed?
Bruh.
Can't wait to hear that.
Out of character, I dead ass thought, you know what? It's my fault. Whatever. I didn't break it because I don't know how to listen. That's totally my fault. But DM, may I have another chance to
Nah.
redeem myself?
Nah. Nah, it says
That's
break
rough.
me. It said break me, and I asked 3 times if Misty broke it.
No, that's crazy. It's just okay. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, Misty's room is basic as heck. Literally like the first day you move it into university or college and you get the basic room ever. No, just one single bed. Um, no curtains, no dresser. Just somewhere to sleep. That's it.
Home sweet home. 10.
Okay. He sees the transformation of the room and is like almost like falls down for a second because it reminds him exactly as home. He looks around, he sees the nice campfire that's sitting in the fireplace. He looks at his red, warm, like almost maroon sheets. He looks at his workbench. It looks like something that he created himself. It's not like something you could have bought at like a store, like an IKEA or something. It looks like it was hand built straight from like a house. He chopped the wood himself. Around the room, it's dark tones of brown. It's rocky. Nothing really feels like it was. Everything feels handmade. It doesn't feel like it was like a construction worker or something like that. And it really makes him reminds him of home as best as it possibly could. And he almost feels like a warm feeling inside. And it's making him a lot more comfortable to be here than he was at the beginning.
Okay. Everyone spent longer than they should exploring their perfect rooms, except Misty. Admiring every detail, savoring the comfort. One of the best surprises, a private bathroom. After indulging in a long shower or brushing rituals, they freshened up and tried to rest. Sorry, had to mute for a second. Tomorrow, lessons begin. So, we're going to do a soft time skip to the next morning, where Misty did not get a restful night's sleep. Bed's creaking every time she moves, wakes her up a little bit. But breakfast for today was delivered directly to the students' dorms by their resident assistants. No dining halls, no bustling chatter, just a quiet tray waiting at the door. It felt strange. No chance to glance at a friend's plate or linger over food together, but slowly it made sense. The privacy gave everyone space to adjust to their unique magical diets without scrutiny or shame. The trays were customized for each of them. Bentley received a plate of raw venison, still pink and tender, alongside roasted root vegetables and seasoned potatoes. Bentley, does raw meat stir your instincts or your appetite?
You get this and you think to yourself, they probably just made a mistake. They pulled a too soon. This looks really good though. Like, this place is so professional. Like, maybe it's meant to be served raw. I'ma just eat it. I'ma just eat it. And as they're eating it, they realize that this has absolutely revolutionized their life. They think they've been eating incorrectly entirely up till this point. It's perfect.
Cain received a tray with a sealed vial of harvested blood. It's rich and warm with a velvet top. Cain, how do you feel receiving a blood vial as your only morning tea?
He looks at this vial, sees this red liquid inside, and it's just like, I mean, I don't know why I thought it was food. Maybe this is supposed to help us get accustomed to this new place, whatnot. Maybe it's like a magic potion or something. And he opens it up. He drinks it because he wants to be as accustomed to the place as possible. and the minute he tastes the blood, he almost like it almost comes right back out, and it's just he has to swallow very, very hard and intentionally to just get it down. And after a moment, it tastes a little bit better, but which is weird to him. But he's just shocked that there was blood in that vial, because where did it come from?
Noted. And Misty was brought a platter of raw meat cuts and raw quail eggs with not a vegetable in sight. Misty, does the scent of freshly cracked eggs and butchered meat bring you comfort or tension?
I'm gonna say it probably brings some type of comfort because she didn't sleep well last night. She is hungry. She drank a lot at the little housewarming party, but not a lot of food. So she's hungry. It may not look as what she would had in her previous life, but she's gonna eat it. She's hungry. Num num.
Excellent. And now, Tim, you received a matte metal tray holding 6 nutrient capsules in a chilled glass of natural spring water. Sterile, scentless, and engineered for precision. So, Tim, what does recharging feel like? Do you enjoy the sensation?
Nutritionally filled capsules.
It's just like iron in a bottle.
Damn. Wish I was a wolf or something.
Nah, you dining in 2085. Like, you're in the future.
He looks at the 6 capsules and the natural spring water, and the spring water jumps out at him because he is definitely super thirsty. And it reminds him of walking down to the lake and grabbing some water with his mom and his brothers or his siblings. But then he looks at the capsules and he says, "Man, can't be that much worse than the ravioli." So he picks it up, pops all of them in his mouth, and just downs the water, wishing that he had a little more flavor to it. But I guess food here can't be trusted, so he's not too worried. And then he pulls out his phone and texts the group chat, wondering if everyone else ate. Is curious to see what they had for breakfast, because right now he is 0 for 2 in eating food.
0 for 2.
Alright, so before we entertain the text, can I get con rolls all around?
Oh. Hey.
Hold on, wait.
Data?
Is my con good? I gotta check real quick.
Well, we fixed it the other day.
Okay, it looks pretty good.
I have made a severe lapse of judgment with my character.
You're used to having that big chunky con modifier, huh?
Oh my god!
Just to clarify, did I do that right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Damn, that's a step up from the last one I got.
Okay.
I'm having the best deal.
I feel like I did really good. One's the best, right? And
Cain!
So, Tim, you pop your tablets, swallow it with some water, finish that glass, most delicious breakfast you ever had, and you head into your text group chat and you're like, hey, what did you guys eat? You could see Roman has seen the text, but does
God damn.
not immediately respond. Salem,
Hate
on
this
the
guy.
other hand, is like, oh, yeah, I thought it was weird that, we were eating by ourselves. It's kind of lonely, but, I don't know how to describe what I was given. I just don't know.
Was it 6 capsules in water?
It was. You know what? I wish it was. It it was meat. It was raw, but I've never seen that cut of meat before. So I don't know what I just ate. I'm going to assume it was chicken.
Okay. It's
I'm
red
gonna hope-
meat. It was chicken.
I'm gonna hope so too.
Alright, could you give me a luck roll, Tim? That's just a normal 1d20. Meanwhile, Cain is regurgitating
Roll again?
Yeah. Regurgitating up his life and soul into his trash. Tim, you are lucky today. Roman sends you a text.
Hell yeah!
A luck roll for that?
Luck roll for for Roman. Oh my god.
Starting out good.
Roman had such a great breakfast, he just had to text. In fact, he takes a picture of it. You find that is what took him the longest time. He not only took a picture of it, he put a filter on. You look at this dude, Roman has enjoyed a stack of freshly made pancakes. Some
What?
scrambled eggs.
The fuck did he turn into?
2 strips of bacon. And you know what? They were feeling generous, so they threw in some coffee and orange juice.
Who do I gotta talk to?
This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. Is that guy still a human? Like, what the fuck?
Me and Salem just start going off in the chat now. This is totally unfair.
Just one word, just delicious. Delicious. Like it's a caption on the picture, just delicious.
Definitely jealous over here.
I couldn't finish my pancakes. I will bring you a few.
Fuck yeah.
So Cain,
Love this.
Yeah.
you're throwing up your life over there. Could not keep the blood down. The moment it touched your tongue and it processed in your head that it was blood, right back out. Drop the vial. Can't even lick it up off the floor.
It doesn't taste good. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And Misty, you tilt your plate towards your head and you slurp that raw egg and you can't keep it down. You just spit it back out on the plate. In your head seeing the raw meat and the raw eggs, you were just like, yo, this is just what I need, but like actually going through the process of eating it, you just can't bring yourself to do it. Wait, I'm kidding. Switch. I read the wrong world. Misty, you enjoyed your meal. It's Bentley who cannot consume his meal.
Sadness in the chat?
Misty is now full.
There's just something about sinking your teeth into the raw venison and the blood spurting in your mouth that just makes you go, I can't. So you settle yourself with the rooted vegetables and seasoned potatoes, but, you know, it's not quite filling that hunger, if that makes sense, Bentley.
It makes sense, but I'm not happy about it.
So even breakfast was a spell of self-discovery. Now, Cain, you're going into this campaign hungry. Clearly, that won't be an issue.
Why would it be an issue? I feel like we're not looking at the roll right. I feel like 1 is supposed to be a good thing.
Well, you got a 2.
Bentley, can you go ahead and read the caption on the Discovering Dorms image for the listeners?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up. Just a second. Bear with me. Getting there. Getting there. This is in class?
Yeah, every
Yeah.
dude's in class.
That's where the picture of the discovering dorms is? Oh, you mean the names? Oh, I don't know. At the top it said Coven Courtesy, so I got confused. It's a yearbook page, and it says, "Remember when we got our keys? Bentley's burrow, Cain's chamber." That's pretentious. Misty's manor, Tim's time bubble. It was the first place that felt ours.
Thank you, thank you.
Grew up in it.
Hey, at least you had a safe space to throw up. Now, after approximately an hour to eat and freshen up, everyone was funneled towards their Coven Courtesies class by their resident assistants. It felt strangely ceremonial, as if nothing else mattered more. The walk itself was quiet but tense. Some students looked rested, glowing from a dreamy night and a warm breakfast romaine, while others dragged their feet, clearly less enchanted by their private morning routine. Still, there was something comforting in the familiarity of faces among the crowd. Kai was the first to break the quiet, weaving through the students until they were shoulder to shoulder with Bentley. They gave a wide grin, bumping their arms together, and whispered something like, "We're sitting next to each other, right, Pookie? Don't make it weird."
Oh, hey, Boo Bear. Yeah, we get sit next to each other. We in the same class?
Everyone's in Coven Courtesies.
Oh, yeah. We can sit next to each other.
Sweet. Now Kane's eyes flicked up and found Silas walking a few steps ahead. Silas caught the gaze and responded instantly with a knowing, slightly smug smile. A callback to whatever playful, sharp-tongued conversation had passed between them the night before. Cain, how does it feel to reunite with your study group and Silas?
um, Cain is just trying to forget the morning happened. And is trying to act like he had a wonderful morning and did not have to shower twice. Just to get the feeling out of his mouth. And he kind of like tries his best to pick up the pace to catch up to the group and Silas. um, and asks, how was your morning?
It was perfect, he says. Um, Give me a charisma roll, Cain, to see if you could successfully hide the fact that you had the shittiest morning ever.
Jesus Christ, just bad
Jeez.
rolls all around.
Yeah. Yeah, Silas says, are you alright, man? You look like shit.
Still figuring out. Breakfast wasn't that great. So I'm just trying to move past that.
Silas is going to be like, vampirism. I assume there was a lot of blood.
A vial. And this is gonna be harder than I thought. As I can't hack it.
He's going to say that's very unfortunate. I quite enjoyed my grits and eggs.
Eggs? Why'd you get grits and eggs? What is this? I want food.
Maybe it's a species thing.
I want food. I'm so hungry.
Ah, It didn't take long for Misty to catch sight of Marcy, who had effortlessly gathered Zeke and Luca into a confident stride. Like the day had already begun on her terms. Misty, how does it feel to link up with your shared jawlines?
Misty catches sight of them and not surprised because they were at the same housewarming party, so I guess they would had time to like meet up and whatever. So Missy just walks over and says good morning. Did you guys have a good breakfast?
At the mention of a good breakfast, Zeke's face kind of falls. Like, anything but that. Luca also kind of like twitches a little bit at the mention of breakfast, but they provide like a a friendly wave, like oh good morning, but just don't ask about the breakfast. Marcy, on the other hand, said, "Oh, I had a great breakfast. I believe it was British in nature. There was a lot of beans, toast. It wasn't what I would usually eat, but anything to energize me."
Oh, you had toast? Wow. I ended up having raw meat. And that was
Zeke.
something. Oh, I guess don't knock it till you try it. It was pretty good. I'm still hungry.
Zeke is going to look onto Misty in surprise and say, "Whoa, they gave you raw meat too?"
Yeah, raw meat and some eggs? Quail, they were smaller quail eggs. It was surprisingly good. Maybe because I was just so hungry. But I'm not too sure.
Zeke says, "I couldn't keep all of mine down. I was grateful for the vegetables and the potatoes on the plate, but I just something about raw meat just at least seared the top. It was nothing."
But you had vegetables, so that's kind of good too. Yeah, I'm so sorry about this morning. I shouldn't have mentioned it. But did you guys have like a nice rest?
Marcy is going to say, "Yeah, we were all in bed by 9." To which you could see Luca kind of roll his eyes like, "Yeah, you were in bed by 9." And Marcy's going to be like, "I had a strict curfew. If we want to be successful, we need a minimum of 8 hours." And Luca says, "I don't sleep, I only dream." And Marcy just kind of gives him like a stank look before rolling her eyes and continuing on.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys got some rest though. I didn't sleep that well. But moving on.
And now, Salem, soft as ever, gave a serene little wave to Roman and Tim, standing just beyond the arc of Magitechris' death hole. Romaine has the covered plate to give to Tim, and you
Yes, he does.
are happy to see that he not only saved you, like, if it was a stack of 4 pancakes, he saved you 2 pancakes. If there was 2 bacon strips, there's a piece of bacon there, half the eggs. Basically, half of his breakfast is also there.
When I sent that text this morning, I didn't expect you to send me a message. But when you not only sent the message, but you showed a picture of the plate, and then you said I could have some, Romaine, I think we're gonna be best friends. And then he notices that Salem is like eyeing the plate as well. So he looks at her and he's like, "Well, I can see you didn't have such a good breakfast either, so I guess it's for both of us."
I love private DM chats. So, you express your gratitude, your deepest gratitude to Romaine, and it 100% shocks him, as if he's never been shown that kindness before in his entire life. You can look at him and tell that he's never been shown that kind of kindness in his entire life. And his face goes a little bit red, but he just kind of like shrugs and brushes it off, kind of scratching the back of his head, and he's just like, it's not that serious. Just take the plate.
With pleasure.
Salem says, I would do anything right now for a bite of those eggs.
You don't have to do anything. I'm not a huge egg man myself, so. Then I hand her the fork.
So without hesitation, the three of you march together in stride. The two of you eating out of Romaine's plate desperately, trying to regain some of the calories that you felt you missed from this morning, and enjoying the sweet sensation that is real food. To your surprise, despite your species change, you are still able to enjoy real food. Now, the group was ushered into a small, intimate classroom, clearly meant for no more than 24. Sunrise spilled through tall windows, casting golden light that mingled with the soft overhead glow. It looked like any normal lecture hall, seating in tidy rows, quiet hum, a place for learning. As footsteps shuffled and chairs creaked, everyone slowly found their seats, Bentley beside Kai, of course. Some sitting together, some alone, all waiting for whatever this Coven Courtesies class was really about. So, let's see. Cain, would you be a dear and read some of the captions on the yearbook page?
It has the words of our first real taste of Solstice magic. We all walked in different, but left a little more woven into each other. It has like little drawings and like underlying like words like make it happen and circling a manifesting.
Hello. Okay, I was talking but muted. So, let's start with party members. Why don't you inform me what you think when you hear the name of the class, Coven Courtesies?
Bentley's under the assumption that maybe that's what they call like classroom groups, like how in college they'll call you a cohort if you all started in the same year, so you're all in one big coven. Maybe it's a big class on how to get along. People have already got to start to be fighting. You do not believe it is peaceful in here.
Oh, that's funny. Cain, per his like conversation with Silas and Ezra and Ava, is just like maybe Coven Courtesies is like the class to learn more about where they are and not necessarily the magic of like the other classes, like for example, like dark magic class or something like that. So he's kind of like expecting someone like Taz to show up and explain why they're there in more detail.
Misty thinks Coven Courtesies is probably like learning how to socialize with our new, like, powers, I guess. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Tim sees the name Coven Courtesies and kind of just tries to use context clues as best as possible. He's heard the word Coven from his little siblings when they're watching their shows and stuff like that about like magic and witches. So he assumes just like a group. And then Courtesies is like, like I don't know what that word means, but I know it has to do with being nice. So he puts two and two together and he says, well, it's probably like Magic 101. It's like the very basics of magic before we spread off into our more specific classes.
In walked someone impossible to miss. Tall, wiry, and oddly elegant. He moved with the confidence of someone who owned every inch of the room. He wore a large, round shades indoors like it was second nature, and tight black arm sleeves hugged his arms all the way down to his fingertips. It was a necessity, not a style choice. A wide-brimmed hat perched atop a mess of dark hair, with jagged glass shards dangling from the brim like glittering tassels, catching the morning light with each sway. Despite the eccentric accessories, he was otherwise immaculately dressed, collared, pressed, roped in black. He strode to the front of the classroom, turned, and without a word, half sat on the educator's desk without a care in the world. And when he spoke, his voice was smooth, filtered through a mouth full of braces that caught the light in tiny mirrors.
What is he doing here?
Can't do that.
I feel a little left out. You guys all seem to know this guy.
This fuck this guy, man. Yes, he's from our old story, which he should not be here, by the way.
He doesn't look too bad. That's all I'm saying.
Ethan's great. We all love Ethan. Why he's here is a very, very different story.
Guess we'll figure that out.
I guess we will.
Sarah scoffs stubbornly. Is this guy serious, or did we just walk into a clown show?
Sarah, you can't say that.
Ezra leans over to Kai. Okay, but why do I kind of love the drama? Your teacher just walked in like a goth wizard at Fashion Week. How does your character react?
Bentley's looking at him, and he's looking at him hard in the eccentricities and just the bold statement of like this art project, modern sculpture hat, and the gloved arm socks, and you convince yourself like, ain't nobody walking around like that can't beat my ass. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna take notes.
Cain is, he's seen a couple of interesting people. You have your upperclassmen, you had Celeste and Taz, and they all dressed like kind of casually. And you see this guy who's, yeah, I guess you can consider it casual, but it's very much out there and definitely calls attention, unlike just like regular typical clothing. So you're definitely just like, it intrigues him because he wonders who, like, if this is in the theory, the guy who just tells you about the world or about the school, what is the other teachers gonna look like? that are specialized in a certain type of magic. So he's very intrigued right now.
Misty is only thinking one thing. He's hot. So she's in disbelief. Hand over her mouth, and the arms crossed, and she's just like, "What? What?" But she's here to listen.
Tim has seen, heard, and even eaten some pretty unusual things since being here. So seeing this man walk into the room is a surprise, but not as much of a surprise as you would think. He looks not too out of the normal compared to some of the things he's witnessed so far. So he kind of he's a little uptight, but he's still kind of relaxed in a sense, especially after that breakfast.
Welcome to Coven Courtesy.
This guy's he has a lisp.
Eats so much ass. There's no way he's not bothered at a constant, unless he's just nah.
Dang, I got a lot of pages to read through with that accent, bro.
You have fun with that. I will try not to laugh. No promises, though.
Welcome to Coven Courtesy, he said boredly. This space exists to help you bridge the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. I'm sure you've got questions, but all of that can wait.
This kind of sounds like puberty.
He ain't even been here for one page and he's getting roasted.
He wasn't roasting Ethan, he was saying how the talk kind of sounds like the sex talk.
Like, he just keep going.
He leaned back slightly, letting the hat's glass fringe shimmer. First, we've got to set some ground rules. Sound good? That, of course, was not good enough for everyone. After nearly 48 hours without real answers, the tension in the room began to thicken like steam. It was Marcy who finally broke the silence, her voice sharp and just loud enough to be undeniable. You've had 2 days to prepare whatever this is, and we've had 2 days of silence. If this class is supposed to mean something, then start by answering us for once instead of talking in circles. A murmur of agreement rippled through the students. Heads nodded. A few people even clapped. The quiet rebellion had begun. The educator, still half-seated at the edge of his desk, adjusted the shades with one gloved hand and gave the room a crooked, metallic smile. Rule number 1, he said, pointedly, is being perceptive enough to know when someone's asking a rhetorical question. I'm setting the ground rules first. I wasn't actually asking. Before the tension could settle, Quinn piped up from the back, tone curious but edged with frustration. Okay, but how are we supposed to agree to any rules when we don't even know what game we're playing? A few more students voiced their agreement. Bentley, Cain, Misty, Tim, is there anything you'd like to add to the growing unrest of the first year students?
Oh.
You know, I think their question's kind of valid, but with the way he's sitting on that desk, I think we should let him talk first.
Sounds great. Let me rephrase the question. Can you all give me con rolls to see if you're not overwhelmed by your time here? enough to not agree in unison with your frustrated classmates.
Let's
Vanity.
go!
This guy's cheating.
Woo!
Bentley's
tell him,
upset. Misty's upset.
Bentley, Misty, in alphabetical order, you're both upset. And you know, that's the homie Marcy talking up. So naturally, that's your ride or die, so you need to agree with her. And Bentley, that's Quinn, that's your friend from last night who said that this place needs to, like, just not be this place. So, what do you guys say in voicing your frustration?
You know what? He's right. You can't just give me a piece of raw meat and not say anything. Everything's so weird here.
Pause! Pause! That's what you're gonna be saying to Kai later tonight?
That's wild. He stands by his statement, though.
Okay, so the homegirl Marcy spoke up, and you know, Misty. I'm gonna assume they're sitting next to each other, so Misty glances over and like nods her head, and she's like,
Misty's having a small breakdown.
Oh my god.
I'm just watching him tweak real time.
okay, I'm sorry.
With your chest, please, as you have rolled a 5.
I'm sorry. Because
Oh my god.
I'm like trying to. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck. What did Marcy say again?
Marcy is upset that the educator is not asking questions first. They're like setting rules, but no one knows the game that's being played right now. So essentially, everyone's frustrations of not getting answers, much to your conversation with Sarah last night has mentioned, is coming to a head.
Let me think how the fuck Misty gonna have a outburst. Misty agrees, and with her chest is like, she's like, okay. So she's like, yeah, like, what's even going on? Like, we need some answers, dog.
Why does Misty need answers? What in her chest is bothering her the most that she just needs to unload all of that out? Is it perhaps her dorm?
She's gonna be the only one who did. With her chest, the bed sucks. The food was raw, and I'm still fucking hungry. It wasn't enough. I'm a big girl. A big girl need to eat.
Alright. You know, fortunately, Cain is so busy thinking about who he's going to bite. That he's not even in this conversation right now. And Tim had a lovely breakfast, amazing sleep, made some outstanding friends, deep, compassionate, like, empathetic. He's having a great time. So he while he can see what everyone's going through, he's just like, dude, like, let's just let him wait. Let's wait. Like, it's 5 seconds.
Wait it out, man.
Yeah, dude. Is everyone not having as amazing time as I am?
Oh my god.
So, the educator responded coolly. Rule number 2. We all come from different walks of life. Some of you were kissed on the forehead every morning. Some of you raised yourself. Doesn't matter. Pain is universal, and the next person to interrupt me again will get a personal introduction to it. An uneasy silence settled like fog, broken only by the scattered whispers and shifting glances. For the first time, everyone in this room has been threatened by their very first professor. Some bristled, tempted to test his bluff. Others swallowed hard, already convinced. Salem shudders from beside Tim, quietly whispering to him, "Bro did not just threaten us on day 1. Zeke mutters under his breath, next to Misty, "Oh, I'd wish he'd try. Let's see who feels pain." How does your character respond to such a bold, brash warning from your new educator?
It's an awful feeling because you're already upset, and now they're threatening to like just corporal punishment you. They're gonna beat you in class, and it's like, this just raises more questions.
For Cain, it's just like you have a lot of questions. You couldn't get through the whole blood thing, but talking out of line isn't gonna get you an answer. And the like chaos that's kind of happening in the room is just like he's kind of quiet. He's just sitting there waiting for someone to fuck up and whatever. He's just waiting for the time to actually have the chance to get information because he really needs to understand more about himself. What do you mean the DM died?
He's cackling in this corner over here.
Is it because of the dog?
It's probably 'cause the dog.
She's laughing because she knows that Max was literally dying.
No, I saw like a chest because it didn't load. And then like I'm like, yo, what is this image? And it's a dog in a mask. And I'm like, yo. Go ahead, Misty.
Yeah, so Misty is frustrated for a couple things already. But at the same time, she's not trying to get her ass beat by someone shorter than her. And not get her ass beat in general. So she is going to respectfully shut the fuck up.
I feel like that requires another condom.
Bro.
I'm kidding.
Tim was definitely enjoying his morning, and even was willing to hear him out up until that point. He's not necessarily threatened, but his senses are kind of heightened. He's like, man, now I'm kind of on their side. I kind of want to know what's going on here, but I'm gonna just do my due diligence and still let him speak his truth.
Speak his truth is funny.
It didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like a promise. So
Let today
Valid.
be
That's not
today.
very fair.
My name's Ethan. Just Ethan. He doesn't smile, doesn't soften. Arms crossed, he scans the tense room like he's already bored. I don't usually teach this class. I don't have the patience or the empathy. That's what your resident assistants are for. He lets the words sit for a moment before continuing. This space exists to help you adjust to who you are now and to the expectations of the world you're about to live in. Let's be clear. This institution was built for your protection and the protection of those you've hurt. He tilts his head slightly, as if expecting them. You're a diverse little flock, ages ranging from 19 to 30. Powers ranging from adorable woodland creatures to incarnations of death. Most of you have no idea what you're capable of. Some of you could kill someone, some of you could kill yourselves. Accidents don't care about intentions. The classes you've selected, those are your choices in how you want to grow. Whether you excel, whether you excel or fail is none of our concern. You're adults, nap through every lecture if you want, but if you don't pay attention, he leans forward slightly. Your powers will outpace you. They'll consume you. And when that happens, don't blame the curriculum. Ava crosses her arms. Could have at least said good morning before dragging our trauma. Roman, half smiling, says, a bit dramatic, don't you think? He whispers to Tim. He talks like this is a prison orientation. Is your character motivated by Ethan's bluntness or put off by it?
It's motivating in the sense of they're being very direct about what needs to occur here, but it's very discomforting because some of the things they're saying are very alarming. Like, what new world? Is that metaphorical? What do they mean?
For Cain, it's almost disencouraging. Like it's definitely throwing him off. You know, you know a lot about, you know, in quotations, vampire lore from your friend Alice, and you just couldn't drink like a small vial of blood. And so when he says something like your powers can outpace you and whatnot, it really causes Cain to super second guess his capability of getting through this. And so he's just sitting there like contemplating how this year's gonna go if he can't do the primary action of what it means to be what he is now.
So hearing what Ethan said still makes her kind of tense, but she knows that she kind of needs to learn how to control her powers, her ability because of what happened previously, how she did, hurt someone, and she just doesn't want to do that again. So, she's just gonna nod her head and fucking listen.
Tim wasn't necessarily motivated by what he said, because that he already kind of reached that peak of motivation. He's always ready to, work and give everything his all. But he is definitely paying attention, and his, like I said, his senses are a little heightened by this whole magic thing. Because he looks around the room, he sees vampire, can't drink blood, sees a bunch of like different animals and stuff like that. Still confused, and he looks at himself. He says, "I'm like still like, kind of like a guy, I think." So he doesn't even know what his powers are to begin with. So he's definitely going to pay more attention than he already was going to, just to figure that aspect, because he hasn't even figured out what he is. let alone the rest of the school.